And
Hello, world. Welcome back. This is Ryan, aka Crownson's Corner. This is the Healing Chefs podcast. As of right now, I'm the host. We are waiting for the other one to possibly get here, but life is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Today's guest, we do have Michelle Mango. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for showing up. We have a lot to go over. If you can't see, we got some stuff on the desk right here. But real quick, we're going to jump into our first segment, which is Cannabis Journey. If you go ahead, please.
No one's ever asked me this.
See, this is what we're here for. All right, so Cannabis Journey, for if anybody's just joining us for the first time, is all about how you found cannabis, where you're at with cannabis now, and anything you have going on. And I'm sure there's some stories in here that we're going to get to. So,
How old were you when you first?
me, it was 13. I think
See, I feel like a lot of cannabis users that are really in the game, like, started real young.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few. I have seen a lot lately that they're late bloomers, but
For me,
yeah.
I was a college athlete.
Mhm.
I played softball,
Okay.
and so I was all Western New York and Buffalo, and I went to Ohio State and I played softball there. So, wait, are you from Michigan?
Roll Tide.
Oh yeah, Alabama. I forget. So anyway, so I had a few scholarships to other colleges, but as soon as I saw Ohio State's campus, I was like, whoa. And so I walked on.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
They redshirted me the first year, 50,000 people, and I was like on the team. It was so cool. I still got to travel and everything.
That's pretty dope.
And I still haven't smoked cannabis yet.
Even though it was Ohio State.
Yeah. And so then my second year I played, and that summer I was home in Buffalo, and my friend from the baseball team, because I was just friends with all the guys. That's how it's always been. I was always been
Mm-hmm.
with the guys. And so
Yeah.
my friend on the baseball team, they were coming through Buffalo for the USA baseball team, the World Olympics. And he says, come pick us up. Let's go out. So I went there, and he had this guy with him. I'm not going to say any names because it was okay. So he got drafted our junior year of college. So the next year was junior. He was like the third pick in the country. He got like $1 million signing bonus.
Just say his name already.
It was crazy. So we ended up breaking up.
We're going to get the name eventually.
We ended up breaking up for 2 years. And it's because when he got this $1 million signing bonus, things totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
And our relationship changed. It wasn't the same. He was very cocky.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still friends, so I should probably not say too much because I've never really told this story. So anyways, we break up for 2 years, and he doesn't spend, maybe a week in the minors. He's straight into Major League Baseball, and he's in it. He's a very good player, throwing 100 miles per hour. So it was, I was not with him. It was 2 years we were broken up. So then my sister sees him. She lived in Washington. She says, you need to see him. He's changed. He's different. Why do you think? Because he started smoking cannabis. So I see him, nice. And he says, let's get back together. Because when we were together before we broke up for those 2 years, we were engaged. Mm-hmm. We were getting married. So now he says, I'm going to pick you up in Buffalo. Let's drive to Arizona. We're going to get married. La, la, la. So I say, okay. It's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry is when we were pulling out. And so at the end of that season, he came to get me, and I moved here to Arizona. And as soon as we got to the house, he showed me the bong. And it all made sense on how he kind of chilled out and became a nicer person. And so we eloped and got married the next week. And then it was like a crazy life. Well, he also said he was a born again Christian and he couldn't live with someone until he was married. So that was another reason for the elopement.
Okay.
So now I'm
the weed changed some, not like all the
the weed changed everything. Yeah, he was a totally different person.
Nice. Yeah.
And so then it was 4 years of being in Major League Baseball. He smoked morning, noon, and night. Like, I remember us being up in Montreal. This is gonna age me now. He was with the Expos, and he bought like the nicest bong. It was like $2,000, and the season's over. He buried it in the park because he wanted to come back next year and get it. He wouldn't travel with it. Yeah. So it was, then we broke up. It was 4 years, and then I went straight into culinary school.
Okay.
Like, before the ink was signed on the divorce, I was in culinary school.
So with the cannabis, when did you?
Right when we got married.
Okay, so
like
when
that
he showed
first
you
24 years old.
Oh, okay. And it started with flour and whatnot.
Only flour.
Yeah,
Only flour. Like, it was also, it was easy to do it. I don't know how many people have spoke about cannabis in Major League Baseball, but there was never any testing. I mean, I remember being in one of the New York stadiums, and one of his guys threw him a package into the dugout, and it was like an ounce. Like, I don't know if, all those people in the stadium had any idea cannabis was thrown back and forth like that.
Oh yeah, no. I've known a couple people that have been in professional sports and everything, and like I'm glad that it's becoming more of a thing where they can actually use it, because
now it is.
they were using it regardless, and
Everybody's
and figuring it out. But well, I'm glad that changed him. Maybe not for forever, but that's good, and it brought you to cannabis.
Yeah.
So you went to culinary school.
So then I was cooking for the team pretty much.
Okay.
There was one of the players that was on a pretty hot streak, and he liked my peanut butter cookies. And so I was sending food in every day. And then when we got divorced, that's kind of what I only knew cooking. I come from a family of food. So we had a great restaurant in Buffalo called the 31 Club, and it was pretty famous. So my grandfather would take me down in the basement, sit me up on the counter, and grind me like filet mignon so I could have a cheeseburger. It was a cool place.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's an expense. So that's an expensive cheeseburger. It's funny because someone recently just told, but I mean, if it's a nice place, that's why someone recently told me like they've been getting like Wagyu burgers. I'm like,
they have Wagyu at Walmart.
I'm like, that's
they have
cool,
ground
but
Wagyu at Walmart.
I'm like, why are you grinding it? Like, kind of.
Well, I know, but if you're gonna get the ground Wagyu, get it at Walmart, and then you can make a burger.
Yeah, I don't. I'm still not buying it at Walmart. Not buying my meat at Walmart. I'm not doing it.
It's tough. There's not too many butchers.
That's exactly the problem.
Arizona.
It is tough.
Well, no, there's no butchers.
There's
where I grew up. There used to be butchers all over.
There's a Gilbert butcher. That's called a Gilbert butcher.
Yeah, there's a Hobie Meats is good.
Nice.
Yeah. That's
Shout out, check out your local butcher. I'm sure they're out there. There's not many of them, but go there.
Or we'll butcher stuff for you. Yeah, I worked. So then we got divorced. I went straight into culinary school.
Okay.
And I finally found
school?
Le Cordon Bleu.
Oh yeah, that one folded. That was out of like Vatterott, right? Vatterott, or the Cordon Bleu was covered by Vatterott.
Right. So I got my bachelor's degree in that, and it was great because I was with a group of people. I mean, I was like driving a Mercedes, parking around the corner, embarrassed to be there just because I was, a line cook now, and it was, I just kind of just get in, get out, do my stuff, and I would learn as much as I could. I loved it so much, and then I started working in restaurants, and an amazing chef in town, Matt Carter, hired me. So I was at Zinc Bistro for a while, and that was like kick-ass. Like, we were doing 500 covers a night. I went from garde manger, doing like a lot of the dressings, like garde manger, salads,
Yeah.
And so then I jumped over the veg cook, the fry cook.
Garde manger, real quick for everybody who doesn't know, is basically that cook, the line cook that's got like the salads and stuff and the cold prep, a lot of that kind of stuff. And
I did a cool thing.
but
We did
also apps. Sometimes they're into apps and what.
This salad I would do. It was so cool. It was with the sauce grabiche, and it was a poached egg on top.
Mm-hmm.
And so to do that poached egg for service, it was so cool. He taught me to take saran wrap, crack the egg in there. Well, first you got to spray it, crack the egg in there, twist it in the saran wrap, and then you poach it real gently in the water. And you have all your eggs ready to go for service. And then when you're ready, you just heat it in hot water. Boom, it's ready to go. So that was, I learned a real easy way to make poached eggs.
That's nice. Yeah, that's the thing. You can go to culinary school all day, but like you really learn this stuff once you're
That
in
was
the
the worst
kitchen. It's those
$37,000 I ever spent was going to school. That's for sure. I mean, I learned more just cooking with my friends and working in restaurants. So I was with Matt Carter at Zinc Bistro, and then I was with Aaron May, who, like, my girls call him Uncle Aaron. He's the best. I was at Soli Sombra with him, but one of the best jobs I ever had was at Rancho Pino. Krista Robertson is like the best female chef in Arizona. And so she had a restaurant for 25 years. And I was so fortunate to work with her when Charlene Badman was there too. Charlene owns F&B. And so she's, James Beard Award winner. I was trained under them, and they are the fucking shit.
Those are very big names.
So I was in the magazine with Krista, and Charlene is like in her family tree of someone that's like done something still in culinary. So I just love her. She's retired, and I just wish she would open back up. She is the vegetable queen. She's really like they taught me everything.
Yeah, and that's amazing. That's a lot of big names that you work for, and obviously I can see it in a lot of the things that you do, that you show on your lives and whatnot, and things that I'm looking at in front of me. When did you make the transition into like making cannabis stuff? Or were you always making cannabis?
Well, no. So once medical passed here, I was very interested in it, but someone had given me a brownie, and I ate the whole thing. I've never been so scared in my life. I've never had an edible. I was like hanging on to the earth, like the grass, like I was falling off. Like I never wanted to feel like that ever again.
Yeah.
And so I was always kind of scared of them. I didn't really know what to do. And then I was having kids. And so that was I was catering. I was doing like weddings. I do everything. I remember I was catering one time. They said, "Can you do my wedding cake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I taught myself. So now I have a whole cake business.
Yeah.
And so that was just from raising kids, trying to still be in the culinary world. And so then that relationship didn't work out. And when, we were going through a divorce, I called my friend, and he had called me prior when I was married and had a restaurant and said, "I want you to do some restaurant consulting or menu consulting. Can I hire you?" But my ex and him didn't like each other. So he said, "No, la, la, la." So anyways, so we get divorced. I call this guy again, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. All I know how to do is cook. He said, "Just wait. I'm about to buy the largest plot of land in Wilcox, Arizona, to grow medical marijuana, and I want you to be my chef. Don't worry, your little meatball is going to be okay, my son." Because Joe, I think, was like 1 or 2 at the time. So he's like, "Meatball's going to be okay." And so I didn't really understand, because it was like a year and 3 months before the plants were even in the ground. He's like, just wait. I want you to work for me." So he is, they bought the farm. So it's Sunday Goods. Okay. So he was true to his word. When the plants went in the ground, he called me and said, "I still want you to be my chef. Come in to the office. Come talk to us." So I was kind of confused with how it was all supposed to go down. Do I sell a recipe? How does it work? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So he just, he kind of just.
I know that part right now.
And so I just kept trying to get answers. I just couldn't get any figured out how it was going to work, because they hadn't offered me a contract yet. So I met with this guy. Do you remember the guy that left town in a magic bus?
Yep.
I went and talked to him because I had sent him a message. I said, I see you're a chef in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I have some questions for you. So I brought him my candy. My friend had cancer. When I was doing all this R&D for the farm and Sunday Goods, I was driving to every dispensary. My friend Natalie and I, we split it. She got like 8. I was like 80 in a week sometimes. Like we would just stop and go to every single one and say ask questions. What's your best selling edible? La, la, la. And then we'd have to do our like monthly report. And so, where was I?
You're talking about
so the fourth. So Natalie and I.
Yeah.
I always do this.
It's all right. We're like, I do it more often than
I do it way more often,
but it's all right.
Especially when I haven't smoked.
We're still
way
good.
Better. So, anyways, wait, walk me back. So.
You guys.
So I met with the guy. That's why, because I didn't say the name. And if I said the name, I would have remembered. So I went and met with him. My friend had cancer. I was going to all these dispensaries trying to buy this lemon hornet candy from Uncle Herbs, was making this lemon candy, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Everywhere we'd go, it was sold out.
It's like lemon. It
was a lemon. Yeah. So I said to my friend, because it was the only thing helping her with the nausea.
Nice.
I said, I'm going to make it for you. So that's when I started making hard candy. I made it before, like some on my cakes, I have shards and stuff like that. But,
nice.
This is the first time I've made a candy in a mold with medicine in it. And so it was amazing. And so I loved it. It was so good. And so she never went to buy another edible again. And so I went and met with this guy just to ask him questions. And he said, they haven't hired you yet? And I said, well, the plants are just in the ground. I think it's just all starting to happen right now. And he says, wait here. And he came right back. He's like, here's a check for $2,700. This is for your next 3 weeks of R&D. I want you to make a hard candy for me. So within the next 3 weeks, he tells me he wants a 50 milligram, my hard candy, the one I made, but he wants me to turn it into a cherry instead of a lemon. So if you remember, he used to have these little candies that were cherry pastille, and he launched he's got Mrs. Wonka.
Yeah.
All right. So I've never been in the industry. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
My water heater broke at my house. My landlord came in. He looked at the table. He's like, what the fuck's going on here? It's like, him and I are like, no, like great friends. He loves cannabis.
Okay.
And so we finally
that could have went
what
another
are
way.
you doing? Right. I thought I was going to get kicked out. Like I couldn't, I made him 60,000 pieces of candy. Like 60,000 pieces of candy individually wrapped. Those were all on my table. I had no idea what I was doing.
Holy shit.
I thought he was giving these all as samples. I didn't know that wasn't legal. Like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So the boyfriend at the time was like, let's go see an attorney. So he got me Laura Bianchi at the Rose Law Group, and I went and sat down with her. She's like, stop what you're doing. You're going to go to jail. And so that's when I said to him, I can't work with you any longer. And so that was it. And then I told Randy at the farm. Yeah, that was
kind of the problem.
Well, I walked into Harvest and they were being sold at the counter.
Oh.
That's when the next day she said, stop what you're doing. You're going to go to jail. I walked into Harvest and they were on the counter.
Oh, shit.
So that's the first time I almost got screwed by going to jail. I had no idea that was happening.
Wow.
I thought these were samples going away to his. I had no idea.
You're just thinking doing R&D.
I'm like a cake chef. Like I was like, I thought I was doing R&D. And he was giving that. He told me he was giving these away to his team and to everybody in town until I walk in and see them being sold and I'm about to die.
Oh, yeah. No, that for sure. I would have had a heart attack. That's crazy.
So then that happened. And then I signed my contract with Sunday Goods. I put my hard candy in my contract as my IP. Mm-hmm. They couldn't take it from me.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to launch with a hard. So my first product with them was my bath bomb.
Okay.
Then I had an intimacy spray.
Oh, yeah.
Sugar cookie flavored.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, Foria was like doing very well in California with their spray.
Yeah.
And so my boss said, make me one. So I did it, and all the
R&D. It's nice that you made it flavored too.
Well, everybody's like, it smells like weed. I don't want it. Oh. And so then I'm like, well, let me flavor it cookie.
You don't like weed? All right.
I mean, downtown, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we eat all the time. I don't know. Right?
Anyway, so then I ended up having an amazing time at Sunday Goods.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was like probably like 4 years. It was I was so proud to be with them and so proud to any product labeled Sunday Goods was my formula or my recipe. I was taught by this amazing NASA scientist, this gal Shalene, who was like the science director. I don't know what her title was when I came on board, but I worked under her and she told me and taught me everything, how to do things.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Man, you've got a lot of really highly skilled people teaching you a lot of things. That's
yeah,
pretty
and then
dope.
I worked with, and then at Sunday Goods at that time, that was that. I mean, there were so many people that were so smart, and so I met a lot of people there.
Nice. And then
but after Sunday Goods,
right.
that company kind of had a small little, like, the CEO left. There was like a little, all the people that I got, that I was hired by a certain person.
Right.
Everybody that was hired by him was slowly let go.
Okay.
There was one gal that she showed up to work and she got escorted out of there. So it was like, I don't really know what was happening internally, but something was not good. And so I just kept trying to keep bringing in new products. Like, let's do this. Let's do this. Right before my old boss left, he's like, let's just package your gummy in like an ugly Mylar and label it the farm. And so that's one of those gummies up there. I'll show that to you when you open those. And so then just the company blew up and I got an email saying that we're going to have to let you go. And I was like crying. I was so upset. I'm like, they're still, so they used Shalene's hard candy formula. So it would leave Wilcox. Maybe it wasn't Shalene. It could have been someone else. But whoever did that first hard candy formula, it was a lemon rosemary pastille, would leave Wilcox and it would get here and it would be a sheet of glass. So then someone else tried to fix it. Then finally my boss said, we're going to use Michelle's formula. We're just going to have to just change the contract a little bit. So we used mine in the last like 6 months or whatever. The candy was perfect.
Yeah.
And so then they let me go and they're still selling the candy. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to, there was the president, I forget his, Mr. Wong. I know. And I said, if you want to still sell the candy, can you give me a small royalty or just a flat out fee? And he said, we'll stop selling the candy.
Oh my God.
So that was it.
We don't like profits.
Yeah, that was it. So then I made the mistake. And then my boyfriend at the time said he was going to sell a couple formulas for me. And then
how'd that go?
Very traumatic. And I don't know if I want to talk about it because I might cry.
Okay. Well, don't cry, but we all know who that is and what kind of happened there. Something else was stolen again.
Well, 2 formula. It was like I was supposed to go there, do everything, build it out. Like, this was my chance. And it was like pulled out from me. So, but it's okay though, because the day I had to get my attorney, it was so weird. It was like my mom died on that day, like 7 years prior. It was crazy. So it was like my mom finally saying like, enough.
Yeah. Maybe that's just a moment in life. Another, like, because we lose to learn. So like maybe it wasn't meant for you at that time. And like I've been telling one of my buddies, Ghost Creations, shout out to you, but like he lost a bunch, here and there and over time, but he was like, I need to get this back. I'm like, bro, like, just believe in me and like work with me, dog. We'll get there. We'll get it all back. Like you got to change your vibration and something like that.
Yeah,
and there was something
going.
in there. There's something in the universe at that point in time. And I'm sorry you're hurt about it, but like there's something in that point in time that the universe is like, no, we're moving on to something else.
Yeah, no. And so then I
it's
went
only
and built out
better
other
because
places.
now you know what not to do.
Right.
And who not to let in. And stuff
I know,
like that.
that's for sure. And then I had a little stint at iLava in Tucson. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, I really like iLava.
Well, because Claire,
especially when I was bud tending, I liked it so.
Well, Claire Levenberg, who was with me at Sunday Goods, she's like mad scientists, like amazing. And so she called me and said, I'm with this group in Tucson. Would you come on board and formulate a gummy? And so it was pretty awesome. It was during COVID. And so it was so chill because the kitchen wasn't passed and inspected yet. So once we got the kitchen passed and inspected, then that's when I left them, and that's when Mikey was gonna. Oh, I wasn't gonna say that name. He was.
Fuck cannabis cactus.
He was, and then that's when that happened. And so, after I got the attorney, my first event, I went to Mita, and I gave out one of my gummies there and my caramel. And the next day I got a call saying my company would like to retain you. So that's where I ended up going with that group in Maryland, Minnesota, and New York called Vireo Health. We had dispensaries here called Green Goods.
Okay. Wow. I don't even remember those.
They just sold their licenses to Copper State Farms like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so we had Elephant Head Farms here.
Okay.
That's where the license was.
Some of those,
so we had two licenses there, and then we had the retail license here, but they sold those. But they had kept me on board because they wanted to launch my gummy in Maryland. So I built out the kitchen there, told them everything we needed to do, just what I was supposed to do in Canada. And then we did that for Minnesota. We did that for New York. I go on site, teach them everything. We launched the gummy, and the gummy's like a huge success. BDSA put the high color gummy in to be the gummy to watch in 2023. So I had like 60 SKUs with them. It was pretty amazing. But they just didn't need me anymore. So they let me go in February.
Damn. Well, speaking of what you make and whatnot, we have a bunch.
We got to try these.
Of stuff sitting on a table here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'm supposed to drop all these into this water.
Okay,
here.
So this is the new product. So I've been doing R&D on this for now. I'm like in month 17.
Okay.
And so this gal wanted to partner with me let's see, a year ago, December. And she wanted to do a low dose edible company towards women and said, can you do your gummy? I want to do edible tables at events. And then can you do a sugar cube? I'm like, oh, I had done a sugar cube when I was at Sunday Goods. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got that. So she had found these like 5 sugar cubes in a tube. And it was cool, but you put it in water, it's so boring. They're only made for hot drinks.
Yeah,
so then I'm like, hold on.
Like me in the bottom of a pool.
I'm like, I'm not going to put my name on a mixed drink, like an old fashioned sugar cube that you're going to let sit there for 5 hours. So I made these. So she wanted the formula for this. I said, I'm not giving up the formula. She says, well, that's what you're bringing to the table. And I said, no, I'm just trying to find the right partner.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had to put this on hold because I needed to make money with the other job. So this was always just my hobby. This was just fun. And so now I've given it to so many people that I'm getting 5 to 10 calls a day. Where can I buy this?
Nice.
I've made the mistake of, Jason let me launch at the lounge. I'm in a facility right now.
Shout out Sir High and all that.
Yes, he's amazing. Like, so nice. And so I'm at a facility now as the VP of edibles doing all their products. So we sent 60 tablets to the lab and they all came out testing perfectly. And so now it's just now doing the contractual stuff and getting a deal done, which is very hard. I'm like now 4 or 5 months trying to figure out how to get these on the market. It was originally the packaging had to change because I'm doing everything by myself. I ran out of money twice, and now this is it. I need help. And so I have like 10 people that are helping me, and they know that I can't pay them until this takes off.
This is
taking off. So now there's nothing like this in the world. Right. I took the medicine, I turned it water soluble, which is a very proprietary way I do that. And everything's going to always stay proprietary. I have 3 states wanting this. I just need to launch here first.
For sure.
I was with a group.
Cool. Let's go over the flavors real quick, and I'm going to drop them in. So just drop it in, and you guys can watch it.
So there you go.
There you go, and then
you got triple berry, which is I tried to do. This is the blueberry, your favorite.
Yeah.
And then we got pineapple.
Somebody pays attention.
So now, there you go. It's the cool. So you can I haven't had a sip of alcohol since March 25th, 2020.
Shit hurts my stomach.
I wanted to see if I could go do my drink because I was making this then, but with lemonade and like a cranberry drink because I wanted to do like mocktails, but I hate the word mocktail because it's like a mockery of a cocktail. So what's a better word?
Call it a pot tail.
A pot tail, but no one's gonna know what it is.
Well, that's why.
That's why I just call it a taplet.
Oh yeah. No, I mean no. The taplet is good. I'm just saying, like when you mix them, like it's like a pot tail. You know what I'm saying? So now
you can mix your flavors. So that's your blueberry, and then you pour it over your ice, and boom.
I mean,
you're probably only gonna get half.
Let's do that.
Yeah, and then you can get a little red in there.
I just want to taste this by itself.
Taste the flavor. So it's just water. So I took the whole, bath bomb concept and did an acid and a base in there. So that's how it fizzes away the medicine. But if you do your research, an effervescent tablet is the best way to get your medicine. You're going to feel that in less than 5 minutes.
Wow. Good.
Will you make me one?
Oh, yeah. Which one?
I don't care. Anything is good.
All right. We'll do.
So this is my 5 o'clock cocktail.
Let's do.
You can drop more than one tablet. You see the white now is more discreet. So now the people that don't want to walk around with Easter egg water, I've gotten that. I've also gotten that the tablet looks like a suppository. You need to change the shape. I've gotten.
Tell them not to be so uptight.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having
me. No, thank you. Let me put some more.
Oh, some pineapple. Oh, that'll go good with the blueberry.
Right. Oh.
So there you go.
Yeah, I'm a chef. I'm a chef or something. Like I know flavors or something.
Pineapple blueberry.
No, it's fire, especially cheers, especially being that we're in Arizona. Shit's hot out here, so it's something nice that it's not like a super sugary ass drink that I got.
It's 3 grams of sugar. Like it's less than 10 calories. And it's just the healthiest way to medicate. If you want to show me something else that's healthier to medicate besides a tincture, show it to me. But there's not one drink on the market that has 10 calories that is made with real sugar.
That shit's fire.
All the other stuff is aspartame, sorbitol, xylitol, maltitol,
aspartame. I only know it so well because I grew up with it. Both my grandfathers were diabetic, so nothing but diet was around, and nothing but sweet and low. So I have to fight right now, drinking like sweet and low with my coffee and stuff like that because otherwise sugar isn't sweet enough, and unless you use way too much.
Do you remember that Dr. Atkins? Dr. Atkins diet. Yeah, all that. I worked at his office back in college.
Who do you not know?
Well, no. Well, you don't want to hear about the last job. No, the last job was the worst.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, we know basketball now.
Basketball? I know you said.
No, I had gotten served with some papers taped to my front door.
Oh.
That was so the gummies you have right there, that coffee gummy.
Okay.
In August of last year.
I don't know what camera. If we
got it.
Okay, so we got coffee right there.
Coffee.
Okay, so that one right there I've been doing for like 3 years. I was doing it back in the day with a chai tea gummy with my coffee gummy.
I really like that because I missed the chai. Like that when I was in Iraq twice. Like
here, let me open it.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
In Iraq, we would get some chai before I go on guard tower and stuff like that.
Wow.
But there's like this little like shot glass that they make it in.
Oh my gosh!
And it's like probably like this much sugar, like
what? But all syrup they poured.
No, it's just sugar, and then they pour this really heavy like chai in there, like really deep chai, like almost espresso like chai. And we would drink that, and then just be like,
well,
hopefully no one would come with
that gummy has coffee in it.
Oh, dope. Let me talk while I'm eating.
Well, it's all vegan stuff, so the kind of just melts away in your mouth. You could leave those in a hot car and they wouldn't melt. So when I got hired by
this dope because I've tried to do all this kind of shit and I've failed miserably. It's either, excuse me.
Wait till you try the peanut butter one.
It's either melted or just dries up.
Gummies?
Yeah, my gummies. Yeah.
Would you use gelatin?
Yeah.
Yuck.
Sorry. I didn't know what I'm not as smart as you. I'm not
Pectin is very hard to work with. There's like 20 different pectins. So now there's the high color gummy in there, and then a lot of the R&D that I've been doing lately is in there.
That's fire. I love that. It tastes exactly
that's
like
one of the
coffee.
gummies they're demanding. And I'm like, just because you change the name to Uptown Espresso doesn't mean you have rights to my gummy.
Oh,
and
nope.
so that is, I think I spoke to you about the stress I had the other day with them doing that. Yeah. My son and I were in the car, and there's this man taping papers to my front door. Is that even legal? Can you serve someone with papers by being taped to the front door?
Not that I know of, but
would you like to read my response?
But I'm also,
isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I did read it. It's pretty good.
It's pretty amazing.
But I literally have set up another evaluation for part of my VA stuff, and I think I even told you, I was sitting there one day, and all of a sudden, like, I'm trying to take a nap, and in the middle of it, I get a ring at my door.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know anybody lately, if you got a ring at your door, you're like, who the f is that?
They're taping papers.
They didn't even text me. You're ringing my doorbell. Right? Who are you?
Serve me face to face.
Yeah, what are you talking about? And then he just like threw it at my door, and so I opened it up, and it's literally just an appointment that I was supposed to get on. So, real quick though, so these are dope. We got the pumpkin spice. I really wanted to try. I'm a huge peanut butter fan.
This could be. So I've been doing it when I was R&Ding it to everybody at work. I made everybody try it. Latosky, do you know Latosky?
No, but
Latosky's amazing. So he says, "Can you make a peanut butter gummy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I used to make one all the time." And so I made it, and so he's like, "Oh my gosh, Michelle, put peanuts in it now." So now I'm putting like Virginia peanuts in it, and I'm doing all different shapes. But Latosky gave me the idea to start doing it again.
This is fire.
That's so cool. So now I can do sticks like that, let them harden out, and then they could be your mixer.
Yeah. And then I'll talk to you about other ideas. I don't want to put it on it. Whatever. And then what is the rest of it? So
there's a few shroom gummies in there. I just started getting into that. I used to go to the blunt brunches all the time, and so I was handing out some chocolates to some of the gals there, and they were getting rave reviews. And so my one friend, so now I have to start doing it more because everybody loves it. I was only doing 0.10 of the mushroom.
Oh, real quick, let's jump into Trip Tales.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Boom. Sorry, yeah, that was out of nowhere. No, that peanut. All right, so yeah, we went through some time there. But real quick, the Trip Tales is all about like your experience with psychedelics and whatnot. And obviously, like you were saying, you have the microdose gummies, and I'm not going to eat those yet because we have another episode.
They just keep you up. It's such a small dose. You don't see too much like 3D stuff. They just keep me up. That's all it does.
I take a lot of acid and stuff, so we're good.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I've slowed down considerably.
Let's just maybe try and get you on the tablets.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No. Like I actually haven't even done it in weeks, but like
good.
Therefore,
and you're gonna start working out. You said
yeah.
So
now
let's not do it and just do this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm your new doctor.
Okay. All right. Well, if you keep feeding me, I'm all yours. But also you have these little things, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. But let's talk about like your experience though with psychedelics.
Well, I'd only experienced it back in the day when the ex did him one time. He did him one time, and I wanted no part of that. And so then when I started making them and giving them away to people, and then everybody's like, you got to try it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to try it. And then my friend Noah, he like gave me 2 ounces. He's like, okay, put 3 grams in this bar, 1 gram in this bar. And he just had he wanted me to do some R&D for him. Oh. Got me interested. And then when I was with Vireo Health, that was, I was with them almost 2 years. And there's an amazing doctor, Dr. Stephen Dahmer, and he studies all that kind of stuff. And he really taught me a lot about mushrooms. Did you ever see on Netflix Fantastic Fungi?
Oh yeah. No, I watch all that kind of stuff, especially if you haven't seen it. The Midnight Gospel with Duncan Trussell.
Oh no, I didn't see
Oh,
that.
please watch that.
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to me. I don't really do it as much, but now that I'm incorporating them into the gummy, they're getting rave reviews from everybody, and it's
nice.
It's a cool, different product to have.
Well, yeah, and edibles, like I've said before, with especially with like shrooms and stuff, you're kind of riding the same rails, especially with low dose psychedelics and higher dose cannabis edibles.
Right.
Because I mean, it's pretty similar. But I really like the low dose, so you can kind of have something that'll keep you up, and maybe you can. Yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit actually lifted, other than like the high that
I have a friend that had never done an edible, and so she said, Michelle, I'm gonna try it. Let me try it. So she's like, I want to try the tablets. I gave it to her. She made her drink. She called me 15 minutes later. She's like, it's so different. I've never had so much fun folding laundry. Thank you so much.
See, that's what we were talking about before. And so
it's just a different little, gives you a better attitude,
Yeah, and with that, since we're kind of close on time, I want to jump real quick into mental health as well, because using these kind of things for. All right, so with doing all this kind of stuff, I haven't used like psychedelics in a little bit, to where like some people do just have a good time. I mean, that's fine with most people. But what I was using them for was really to help my mental health, like especially when I had ketamine treatments and whatnot, because as being
I heard that's wild.
Yeah, well, being a veteran that had went to war a couple times and stuff, like my responses to stuff just weren't the same as everybody else's, and I just kind of like wasn't happy, but it was kind of like attacking a lot, like being I was so defensive, it was coming out as aggressive. So I found that the ketamine or whatnot kind of released that, like pushed that demon in the back. Like I didn't have to prove myself or anything anymore. So like for some people,
you don't have to prove yourself, right?
Well, yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Good.
No,
Yeah.
I'm so beyond any of that stuff.
You seem like you are. So
yeah. No, there's so much that I've done in life. Like I don't need to tell it.
Did that help you? The ketamine?
Oh yeah. It released that, like that demon that I had, and like a lot of people thought that I was just going to keep doing a bunch of drugs and keep doing all that kind of crazy acid and stuff. I haven't done anything in a while, because like I got to a point where like those things, I was really excited about those things first when I was talking about them, because they were helping me a lot. But I'm at a point where I don't need any of that stuff anymore. But
that's like with cannabis. There was no doctor to ever tell you what your dose is.
Right.
So some people need medicine, some don't. So if you use cannabis as medicine, you have to find your own dose.
Yeah.
So that's, just
that's
like
real good with all this.
Right. Low dose stuff, you can find your dose. And so same with all other treatments. You need someone to educate you and teach you how to do it correctly.
And not everything, especially with mental health, is a forever thing. Just because you take a medication or you do something that helps you out. Like I was kind of worried when I did the ketamine treatments, because it helped me so much, that I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. But then like I went to a couple more, and then I realized we don't need that shit anymore. And I hope that a lot more people with these lower doses, with like the shrooms or the edibles and stuff, really try it some more, because that's something that we were talking about in the last episode or so. Like you were saying, like your friend had the drink, then all of a sudden was like, holy shit, I'm having fun folding my clothes again. Like that's the one thing that's across everybody. Like someone says, like my dad had it and he never liked weed or nothing, but then he had an edible.
It's different.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's like, I'm having a great time. Like no shit. Yeah. Like just everyone calm down. But yeah.
If you really get the right person to educate you,
Yeah, no, the drink's hitting way more right now. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it.
Your cheeks are getting a little pinker.
Yeah, because it's also getting a little hotter in here. Like, if you guys haven't noticed in all the episodes, I just get warmer and redder. This is another reason I don't drink. I get that from my mom.
With the last group
Shout out, Mom.
the last group I was with, the group that served me with papers, I did gummies for them. So when I was at the Michigan facility making gummies, there were 3 guys there. There was a little guy rolling these little cookies, they call them. Little hash balls, right?
Okay.
And so he's lining them up lining them. No, he's had gloves on.
Oh, okay.
And so he's got this sheet tray and he's like lining them up like he's gonna bake cookies, right? And then there's these 2 other guys sitting right there rolling these little joints. They're called little fatties. And so that's where those came from. It took me 18 tries, but I figured it out.
You can't see it. It's right there.
So mine are little piggies, and they're just so cute.
Yeah, so
this is if I smoke a joint, this is what I smoke, and I know what's in it.
That's fire.
A little piggy.
Yeah.
1.5 grams.
And I'm going to share this with my lungs here in a little while.
Yeah.
And there's I don't know what strain it is, but I know you smoke.
Purple Poison by Mojave.
Purple Poison.
Or was it with that Purple Poison? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But it's Mojave. I love Mojave.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, like
Mojave,
we talked.
Alien Labs.
Alien Labs, yeah.
Shango. I don't mind Shango.
I haven't had any Shango in a while. But then again, I haven't been near any in a while either. So it is what it is. But yeah, like you got all sorts of flavors here. You have, I can't reach for shit. Sour apple, pumpkin, of course, pumpkin spice for all.
The pumpkin spice is pretty cool.
For the basic bitch in me.
So with all the flavors on the East Coast, pumpkin spice was a limited edition flavor. That's 50 milligrams. Be careful.
Oh.
You're going to taste the medicine.
I was trying to fight.
Do you taste the medicine?
If I did, I'm going to taste the pumpkin spice.
Do you like how it tastes?
It's
good.
It's good. It's good. It's just
it's really pumpkin-y.
It's pumpkin spice. Like I just do this every year when pumpkin spice comes around. I'll even go to Starbucks.
Like pumpkin, dude. So don't eat it if you don't like pumpkin spice. Now you gotta wash it down with something.
Yeah. Ugh. No. It's great though. No, honestly, it tastes exactly like the drink. Like I have. It's just it's definitely that pumpkin spice. But if you love pumpkin spice, it's fire. Sorry. It just reminds me. It just reminds me of the Starbucks that I tried the other day that I had to throw away.
I know,
but I don't know.
I do pumpkin bread though. That's pretty amazing. And at the end of the cooking, I put the cinnamon sugar on. It gets like this crispy crust on the outside of the bread. It's so good.
And if you don't give me any now, then that's okay. Yeah,
it's like the banana bread. When I used to go to Wilcox in the farm, I would bring banana bread with me, and for all the guys there have you ever seen the farm there? You said you're friends with the Cribs guy. They went to the farm. Their first episode. Watch it. You'll see my bath bombs in the video.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Yeah, go check out all the Can of Cribs. Shout out Can of Cribs, Mr. Boofman, all of them and stuff like that.
I remember the first season they did it at the farm.
Dope. Nate, the CEO, and all that kind of stuff. But no, like all this stuff is fire. Especially, I really like that peanut butter shit. Like,
well, so now, what do you think about a peanut butter and a jelly in the same package?
Damn it, I was already there.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd be dope. It's like peanut butter and jelly Slim Jims, but better, and not like
during COVID. During COVID, I was making peanut butter and putting them in 8 flour jars and just like leaving them at all my friends' houses.
It's the one thing like when I'm like working out and doing like my eating chicken and green beans and all that stuff. It's just I always have peanut. Yeah.
On Dave's bread every day.
Yeah, that or I really like Ezekiel bread.
And once you go to Dave, you can't go back to Ezekiel.
Yes, you can, because if you get the cinnamon raisin,
or you make bread like Rose, the gal that I work with at Trendsetters. Shout out to Trendsetters. The day that this last group, fired me, he's like, I'll hire you. It's a really great facility.
Well, there's so much
and
more
so it's like a family there. And so everybody that works at this facility, it's a family. And so this gal I work with, she's doing all these pixie sticks and we're trying to come up with all these fun things. Pixie. We're trying to figure out doing a fun dip.
Yeah, I saw you.
Did. Oh, yeah, so those sticks, the peanut butter sticks, I did my hard candy in a stick.
What if you did?
But how would you package that?
You could do it with like I don't want to give it all away.
So we have a great name for her, but I can't figure out how to package it.
Okay, we'll talk after all this stuff. I don't want everyone to know all the ideas.
There's a million ideas. I have over 50 shelf stable formulas.
You can package
in
it
150 flavors. Like, it's crazy.
People package all sorts of shit. Really, all you need is a vacuum sealer and plastic and whatnot. Like, yeah. Or you can do it
a little
like
potassium sorbate.
yeah, and then or there's a lot of different things that you can use.
Well, honey, like
if you dried these out and you had like a fun dip, like grape powder, and you were dipping.
Well, that's all I did. So I made, when I was with Vireo Health, one of my R&D, because I worked from home pretty much every day. I would get on Zoom calls and we would do SKU expansion. We would do, just have all these meetings. And so I did a high color drink mix and they didn't want it. And so it's basically just the tablet, like in a powder form before I form it. And so I've had that for 3 or something years now, 4 years. That thing's ready to go. It's just, how do you want to package it? And so that's what I used as the fun dip. It was perfect.
Nice. Exactly.
You didn't need anything else because it already was flowing because of what I was putting in there.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It didn't clump together because that was the whole part of the shelf stability R&D, was not touch it for a month and see if it would stay powdery.
There you go. Yeah. That's the real test, is the shelf stability. But let's go.
I've got shelf stability. I've got open packages, closed packages, refrigerator, not refrigerator, garage, not garage. Like, there's shelf stability happening all over my house.
Nice.
In my car. I've been driving around with gummies for a month or 2 months.
All right.
But then I give them away.
And
give them to everybody.
We appreciate it. Real quick, let's jump into our last little segment, which is the promo. I mean, we've been doing kind of promo the whole time, but the plug talk.
Oh no.
We'll talk after that. Because I'm not
happy
with something.
You're so happy. You're so happy because I'm here and you're drinking drinks.
No, I'm very happy.
So think of a new name for a mocktail for me, please. I need help with that.
Pottail cannabis cocktails.
Pottail. Let's see if it grows on me.
I'm telling you, it works, because like I was going to use that years ago when I wanted to like have concentrates, like 2 strains in like a separated jar, so you could have like an indica and then like a sativa or something. You mixed it and together, like if it was grape and lemon or something, you know what I mean? Like, so you could make your own pottails.
Oh, nice.
But that, I mean, obviously I've just
you don't want to deal with liquid.
But I don't know. So
you want to deal with the components to make your liquid.
But I'm just saying pottails. Well, I mean, I'll think of something. We'll work on it.
Okay.
But what else do you have going on? I mean, obviously this, anything else?
Just doing all the products at the facility. My boss wanted me to make a topical that was a gel. So it was pretty cool because I have a healing salve. I've done the bath bomb, but I've never just taken water and turned it into like a menthol gel. And so that was pretty cool. It took me 7 tries, but I finally got it. We sent it to the lab, and now we're going to package them up this week. I think I did 1,000 units.
I want to learn some shit from you.
It's pretty cool. So I took menthol crystals and then I cooked them in water pretty much. Like, if you walked in the kitchen, you were like, like it was very
mentholy,
like crazy. Because these are the real. It looks like you're looking at like these are the real crystals. Like, this is not just like, Vicks Vapo Rub.
Damn.
And so I put that in there with lidocaine and capsaicin and arnica, aloe. There was like 210 grams of medicine. I was like, this doesn't work. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, right?
I was like, so nervous, but I mean, like, I'm using a huge, like, immersion blender and everything, and so I made it now, let's see, 2 months ago, and it's just been after we had gotten the lab results back, it's just been sitting there because we were waiting on the hardware, and it's still perfectly homogenized. I'm like, I check it every day. I get so
Nice.
nervous because it's,
I've been there.
something I've
Yeah.
never made, and it's like, it is so cool because it's so healing. I'm making these also, this group out of Oklahoma. I'm making all their caramels, and when I go to put the liquid in, it's like steam central, right? And so, like, the first time I did it, I obviously get burned,
Yeah, caramel's
wherever.
rough.
And so I'm like, I looked at the gal I work with. I'm like, the freeze. And so I put on a new glove. I just put a little bit on there. It was like, it didn't bubble up. It was like perfect.
Nice.
And so
That's the thing that's
it's
coming
really
out.
cool. Yeah. So that'll be coming soon.
Dope.
And then Trendsetters also has a line called Private Reserve. It's the packaging looks like Rolls Royce. It's like
Nice.
gorgeous. And it's like this matte black. So that'll be coming out.
Sick.
So whatever.
So you got, yeah. So be on the lookout for tablets and stuff. I love this shit. Especially because I'm trying to switch off of soda and different things, and
yeah, so
not so many
I've got
sugary drinks. This is dope.
Michigan, and New York, waiting for the tablets to launch here,
Sick,
and then I go
sick.
there. So it's just
only a matter of time, folks.
Let's get it out
there.
So
what I have coming up, we have Agriculture Allison coming up. We have some things maybe next weekend. Still up in the air, but there'll be more on that in the future. But thank you very much for coming out. It was a pleasure. We're definitely going to have you back.
Sure. We should have like edible the first Sunday of every month. We can have some edibles.
Sure. I mean, whatever you want to run. I mean, I'm all for it. Excuse me. But be good, be clean. As always, be safe. Tap in, smoke up, trip out. Love y'all. Tschüss. Damon. Oh, Damon. Sorry. Damon Michelle.